Hello, everyone. I'm Roderick D. Talley, and I'd like to welcome you all to our book review number 10. Now, before I get into this review, I'd like to remind you all of some details of how I actually do book reviews. First of all, I only give positive feedback because, for one, there's really no wrong way to write. And I want to make sure I keep encouraging my fellow writers to keep sharing their message and sharing their gift and keep encouraging other people. And number two, there's already enough critics in the world, so I'm trying to do the opposite and spread more positivity in our work. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our next book that we'll be reviewing, and it is The Kingdom of Honey by Miss Kathey Mercer. Now, I've had the pleasure of meeting this queen at the National Black Book Festival over in Houston last year. I believe it was around October time frame. And she was the main thing I remembered about her is that she was a very vibrant woman of God. Like, she was very excited to spread God's love, especially to our young children. And she was very excited to plant seeds of godly principles into our children. And she was very excited about doing this through her book. And so it's always good to meet other passionate, godly people that are really passionate about spreading God's love and really trying to help people and encourage other people. Now, this is a children's book in which the author uses the lives of honeybees to help display biblical principles and how they're applied to this kingdom. There are 3 points that she presents in this book that I'm going to go over. And the first one being, the bees' worship made their land prosperous and blessed. Now, we as Christians, especially Christians, know this, that we are made for worship. We are made to worship God. And that's one of the primary purposes of God making us and creating us. And God really honors our reverence to him. And so it is important and it's vital to give worship to him. And, there's numerous scriptures in the Bible that backs up this principle where it talks about how basically God takes care of us. If we seek him and we honor him first, he's going to take care of us. He's going to take care of all our needs, all of our wants, and he's going to protect us. And so this is a good example on the effects of worship and how God will take care of you and will prosper you if you worship him and you reverence him. The second point that I really like that's presented in this book, and this is actually probably my favorite point, is despite their concerns of outside troubles, the bees kept their faith in God. They kept worshiping God despite their trials. Now, this is very vital to not just children, but to adults as well. It is very vital that we keep praising God and giving God glory despite the mess going on around us, especially when we're in the midst of some storms, some trials, some tribulations or whatnot. Because for one, these trials and tribulations are meant to build our character. So when we recognize that and look at it that way, it kind of helps us to be more at ease and to handle those situations better. But also, these tribulations can be used by the enemy as distractions. And if we turn our focus towards those troubles, towards those trials, and become really distracted by those, it takes our focus off of God. And if our focus is not on God, we're not praising him. We're not giving him the glory. So this is a very key lesson to both, not just children, but adults as well. And the final point that I'm like about this book that I'm going to go over is the fact that she placed fun activities, a lot of extra stuff in the book as well. Not just for children, but for adults as well. Like, there's discussion questions, there's some like word searches in there. And I feel that's very important to keep not only the children engaged, but to help keep the parents engaged as well. It's important that we're paying attention to what's presented in books and what we're presenting to our children, especially in children's books, because you'll be surprised just because something is labeled as a children's book doesn't mean that it's suitable for children. And so it's a really good way to keep both the children and the parents engaged. Now, where you can find this book is primarily on Amazon. But you can also connect with her through her Facebook page. I'd like to thank you all for joining me. And until next time, God bless you all. I would like to thank the wonderful Miss Shalonda McFarlane for allowing me to use her music. Make sure y'all check out her album, available now on Amazon.